Right now, someone is giving up on their dream, and it might be the very moment they were closest to a breakthrough. Don't let that someone be you. Hard times do not come to break us, they come to reveal who we truly are. Every generation faces moments of doubt, fear, and struggle. But history reminds us of one truth: progress is born in pressure. Today, we will talk about how to stay motivated when life feels heavy, hope feels distant, and quitting feels easy, because this is where strength is forged. Hard times have a way of forcing us to pause and confront truths we might otherwise avoid. When life becomes difficult, our first instinct is often to escape through denial, distraction, or pretending that everything is fine. But real strength does not begin with avoidance, it begins with acceptance. Accepting reality does not mean surrendering to it. It means standing firmly in the present moment and saying, "This is where I am, and I am still moving forward." There is power in that honesty because it clears the fog and allows us to see our situation for what it truly is. When we refuse to acknowledge our struggles, we carry an invisible weight. Pretending everything is okay drains our energy and leaves us emotionally exhausted. Acceptance, on the other hand, lightens that burden. It gives us permission to feel disappointment, fear, or sadness without letting those emotions define us. Courage is not the absence of pain, it is the decision to keep going while the pain is still there. History teaches us that the most meaningful change has always come from people who faced uncomfortable realities head-on and chose action over illusion. Accepting reality also brings clarity. When we stop running, we gain a clearer understanding of what needs to be done next. We can separate what we can control from what we cannot. This clarity is essential because progress is built on focused effort, not on wishful thinking. By acknowledging our circumstances, we begin to reclaim our sense of agency. We stop reacting emotionally and start responding intentionally. That shift alone can transform hopelessness into direction. There is also dignity in acceptance. It reminds us that struggle is not a sign of weakness, but a shared human experience. Every person who has ever achieved something meaningful has faced moments of doubt and hardship. What separates those who rise from those who remain stuck is not luck, but the willingness to face reality with open eyes and an open heart. Acceptance allows us to learn from hardship instead of being crushed by it. It turns setbacks into lessons and pain into perspective. Most importantly, accepting reality anchors us in resilience. When we stop running from the truth, we discover that we are stronger than we believed. We learn that even in difficult moments, we can choose our next step. We may not be able to change everything at once, but we can always choose honesty, effort, and persistence. That choice builds momentum, and momentum builds hope. Moving forward does not require perfect conditions. It requires a decision to keep going, one step at a time. In the end, acceptance is not about giving up. It's about grounding ourselves in truth so we can rise with purpose. When we face reality, we reclaim our power. We stop wasting energy on denial and start investing it in progress. And in that space, between honesty and hope, we find the courage to move forward, even when the road is hard, even when the pain is real, and even when the outcome is uncertain. When the journey feels endless and every step forward demands more energy than you think you have, purpose becomes the force that keeps you moving. Motivation can rise and fall with mood and circumstance, but purpose is deeper. It is the quiet, steady reason that called you to begin in the first place. Remembering your why is not about reliving the past, it's about reconnecting with the meaning that still lives inside you. In moments of exhaustion, purpose reminds you that this struggle is not random, it is connected to something greater than temporary discomfort. Every meaningful goal begins with a reason. Maybe it was a dream of a better life, a desire to prove something to yourself, or a commitment to create change for others. Over time, challenges, setbacks, and daily pressure can blur that original vision. The noise of doubt grows louder, and the road starts to feel heavier. Going back to your why cuts through that noise. It brings clarity in confusion and strength in weakness. It reminds you that you did not start this journey by accident. You started it because something inside you believed it mattered. Purpose has the power to reframe obstacles. When you lose sight of your why, every problem feels like a stop sign. But when purpose is clear, those same problems become lessons, tests, and opportunities to grow. They stop being reasons to quit and start becoming evidence that you are moving in the right direction. History shows us again and again that progress is never smooth. Those who endure are not the most talented, but the most connected to their purpose. They keep going because stopping would mean abandoning something they deeply believe in. Remembering your why also restores emotional strength. Hard times often drain confidence and make you question your worth. Purpose pushes back against that doubt. It tells you that your effort has meaning even when results are delayed. It reminds you that value is not measured only by success, but by commitment and integrity. When you act from purpose, even small steps feel powerful because they are aligned with something true. Purpose also gives patience. When the road is long, impatience can lead to frustration and burnout. Your why teaches you to respect the process. It helps you understand that growth takes time and that becoming the person capable of reaching your goal is just as important as the goal itself. With purpose, you stop asking, "How fast can this end?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" In the end, remembering your why is an act of self-leadership. It is choosing to stand in your values when circumstances try to shake you. It is choosing meaning over comfort and direction over despair. When you reconnect with your purpose, you don't just find motivation, you find resolve. And with that resolve, obstacles lose their power, the road becomes manageable, and every step forward, no matter how small, becomes proof that you are still moving towards something that truly matters. Real change is rarely the result of one dramatic moment. It is built quietly, through small, steady steps taken day after day, often when no one is watching and when motivation is nowhere to be found. We live in a world that celebrates instant success, but the truth is that lasting progress belongs to those who understand the value of consistency. When life feels overwhelming, thinking too far ahead can paralyze you. Focusing on the next small step, however, makes forward movement possible. One step may feel insignificant, but repeated over time, it becomes transformation. Many people wait to feel inspired before they act, believing that motivation must come first. In reality, action often creates motivation, not the other way around. Taking a small step, even a very small one, builds momentum. It sends a message to your mind that you are still in control, that you are not stuck, and that progress is still possible. Ordinary people achieve extraordinary results not because they are always motivated, but because they keep showing up, even on difficult days. Small steps also reduce fear. Big goals can feel intimidating, especially during hard times. When the challenge feels too large, the mind looks for escape. Breaking that challenge into manageable actions removes the pressure. You stop asking yourself how to fix everything and start asking what you can do today. That shift creates confidence. Each completed step, no matter how minor, becomes evidence of your capability. Confidence grows not from perfection, but from consistent effort. There is also wisdom in steady progress. Moving slowly allows you to learn, adjust, and grow stronger along the way. Rushing often leads to burnout or mistakes that force you to start over. Consistency builds discipline, and discipline builds reliability. When you commit to small daily actions, you create a system that supports you even when emotions fluctuate. On days when motivation is high, you move forward. On days when it is low, your habits carry you through. Taking small steps also teaches patience and resilience. Progress does not always look impressive in the beginning. There will be days when it feels like nothing is changing, but growth is happening beneath the soil. Just as seeds take time to break through the soil, effort takes time to show results. Trusting this process requires faith in yourself and in the value of persistence. Those who succeed are not immune to doubt. They simply refuse to let doubt stop them from taking the next step. In the end, small, steady steps are a declaration of hope. They say, "I may not be where I want to be, but I am moving." Each step forward, however modest, weakens fear and strengthens belief. Progress is not about speed, it is about direction. When you commit to consistent action, you honor your goals and your future. And over time, those ordinary steps compound into extraordinary change, proving that perseverance, not perfection, is what truly moves life forward. Life has a way of reminding us that not everything is within our control. Unexpected setbacks, delays, losses, and disappointments arrive without warning, like storms we did not plan for and cannot stop. Trying to control everything only leads to frustration and exhaustion. Real strength begins when we accept this truth and shift our focus to what truly belongs to us, our response. While we may not choose the circumstances we face, we always have the power to choose how we meet them. That choice is where dignity, resilience, and growth are born. When hard times strike, it is easy to become consumed by outcomes, results we cannot guarantee, timelines we cannot speed up, and decisions others make beyond our influence. This focus drains our energy and weakens our spirit. Letting go of outcomes doesn't mean giving up on goals. It means understanding that progress is measured by effort, not immediate success. Effort is honest. Effort is within reach. And effort, repeated consistently, shapes outcomes over time, even when the path feels uncertain. Controlling what you can creates clarity in chaos. You can control how you prepare, how you show up, how you speak to yourself, and how you treat others. You can control whether you choose discipline over distraction, learning over bitterness, and courage over fear. These choices may seem small, but they are powerful. They build character, and character sustains you when results are delayed. Focusing on effort keeps you grounded in action instead of anxiety. There is also freedom in this mindset. When you stop chasing perfect outcomes, you stop living in constant tension. You give yourself permission to do your best without being crushed by expectations. This freedom allows you to think more clearly, act more intentionally, and recover more quickly from setbacks. You begin to understand that setbacks are not verdicts on your ability, but moments that test your persistence. History shows us that those who create change are not those who control every variable, but those who remain steady under pressure. They adapt, they respond, they keep moving forward even when the storm rages. By focusing on effort, you reclaim your sense of purpose. You remind yourself that no matter how unpredictable life becomes, your values and actions remain your own. Over time, this focus builds inner strength. Each time you choose to respond with patience instead of panic, commitment instead of quitting, you reinforce a powerful identity, someone who does not surrender control of their spirit to external circumstances. That identity becomes a source of confidence and calm. It allows you to face uncertainty without losing yourself. In the end, power does not live in controlling the world around you. It lives in controlling the world within you. When you focus on effort, you stay present. When you choose your response, you protect your progress. And when you commit to doing what you can every single day, you discover that even in the middle of the storm, you are not powerless. You are becoming stronger. Human beings are not meant to face life's hardest moments in isolation. Strength grows in connection, and hope multiplies when it is shared.
During difficult times, the voices around us shape our thoughts, our emotions, and ultimately our actions. When we surround ourselves with hope, we give ourselves the chance to rise higher than we could on our own. No one climbs out of darkness alone. Progress is most powerful when it is supported by others who believe, encourage, and remind us of what is still possible.
The people you listen to matter. In moments of struggle, negative voices can quietly erode confidence, making challenges feel heavier than they truly are. These voices may come from others or from the doubts we allow to grow unchecked. Seeking voices that lift you is an act of self-respect. It means choosing conversations that inspire growth, perspectives that offer clarity, and people who speak possibility rather than limitation. Hope does not deny reality, it gives reality a direction. Community provides perspective when your own vision becomes clouded. When you are tired or discouraged, others can see strength in you that you may have forgotten. They remind you that setbacks are temporary and that progress is still unfolding. A supportive community does not carry you, but it steadies you. It creates an environment where resilience is nurtured and where struggle is met with understanding instead of judgment. Being surrounded by hope also creates accountability. When others believe in you, you are more likely to believe in yourself. Shared goals and shared encouragement make it harder to give up in moments of doubt. Community reinforces discipline by reminding you that your effort matters, not just to you, but to those walking alongside you. This shared sense of purpose strengthens commitment and fuels perseverance. There is also power in giving hope to others. Encouragement is not a one-way exchange. When you lift someone else, you reinforce your own sense of meaning and resilience. Service and support create bonds that transform individual strength into collective progress. In helping others rise, you discover that your own struggles gain new perspective and purpose. Choosing hopeful connections requires intention. It may mean stepping away from environments that drain energy or challenge self-belief. It may mean seeking mentors, friends, or communities aligned with your values and aspirations. This choice is not about perfection, it is about alignment. When your environment supports growth, progress becomes more sustainable. In the end, community is strength multiplied because it combines belief, support, and shared determination. Hope grows louder when it is echoed by others who refuse to let you quit on yourself. Surrounding yourself with hope does not remove obstacles, but it equips you to face them with courage. Together, we stand stronger, move farther, and rise higher than we ever could alone. In the middle of hardship, time has a way of slowing down. Pain feels permanent, and the future can seem uncertain or even unreachable. In those moments, it is easy to believe that the struggle you are facing now is all there will ever be. But history, both personal and collective, teaches us a powerful truth. No season lasts forever. Circumstances change, challenges evolve, and moments that once felt unbearable eventually become memories. Believing that this moment is temporary is not denial, it is perspective. Every generation has faced its own trials, and every era has produced individuals who endured more than they thought possible. What separates those who survive from those who surrender is not the absence of hardship, but the belief that hardship will not define the rest of their lives. Resilient people understand that pain is a chapter, not the entire book. They hold on because the present is not easy, but because they trust that the present is not permanent. This belief creates emotional endurance. When you know that a difficult moment will pass, you stop measuring your life by today's discomfort. You give yourself permission to breathe, to rest, and to keep going at a pace you can sustain. Temporary struggle becomes more manageable when it is placed within a larger timeline. You begin to see that surviving today is an achievement in itself, and that endurance is a form of progress. Believing in the temporary nature of hardship also protects hope. Hope is not the belief that everything will suddenly become perfect. It is the belief that change is possible. This belief fuels resilience. It allows you to show up again tomorrow, even if nothing has improved yet. It encourages patience when results are delayed and faith when outcomes are unclear. Hope does not erase difficulty, but it gives difficulty meaning. Over time, what once felt overwhelming becomes a source of strength. The experiences that tested you begin to shape you. They teach you patience, humility, empathy, and courage. One day, you will look back and realize that the moment you thought would break you actually built you. It became proof of your ability to endure and adapt. Your struggle transforms into a story not of defeat, but of perseverance. This perspective also changes how you face the present. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "What is this preparing me for?" That shift empowers growth. It reminds you that you are not stuck, you are moving through something. And movement, even slow movement, is still progress. In the end, believing this moment is temporary is an act of quiet courage. It is choosing faith over fear and patience over panic. Hard times may shape the path, but they do not determine the destination. When this chapter closes, and it will, you will stand stronger, wiser, and more resilient, carrying with you the undeniable truth that you survived, you grew, and you kept going. So stand tall, keep moving, and remember, your struggle is not the end of your story. It is the chapter that proved you were strong enough to continue.